Hey there, this is Joe.
And this is Ava.
Today, we're talking about flash flooding in Nepal and Tibet that killed hundreds, an $18 billion meta settlement that means new protections for teens on socials, the feds disrupting an 8-year digital hacking op sponsored by China, and other top news for Friday, August 28th. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the pour-over.
Here's your quote of the day. Knowing God is your single greatest privilege as a Christian. Sinclair B. Ferguson. Let's get started with some espresso shots.
Flash flooding swept through Nepal and the Tibet region of China Wednesday, killing at least 389 people and leaving about 1,500 others missing. Scientists say the flooding was caused by a glacier that collapsed high in the Himalayas, unleashing an ice chunk 1,200 meters or 3,900 feet into the valley below and causing an ice rock avalanche that overflowed the region's rivers. Experts aren't sure what triggered the glacial break. Now, rescue crews are combating blocked roads, swept-away bridges, and mud-covered villages as they search for survivors and deliver supplies via helicopter. More than 600 tourists are among those still missing, including at least 65 Americans. Officials have warned that subsequent landslides and an overfull flood-formed lake could cause second and third rounds of deluge. Will you pray with us? God who gathered the mountains into heaps, why would you bring them down? God who makes the floodwaters recede, why would you tolerate their rising again? But we can only turn to you. You have washed away, and only you can restore. Father, King of creation, call your rebellious elements back to order. For those who are lost, search relentlessly and bring them home. For those who will rescue, grant courage and strength. For those who have lost everything, richly provide. To those who grieve, be near with comfort. To those who will rebuild, give fortitude, endurance, and hope. For your people, a light in darkness, open doors for bold love and shine your light over the wreckage. Amen.
Social media is refreshing its timeline for teens. Meta reached an approximately $18 billion settlement with 52 attorneys general Wednesday, ending a historic federal trial over platform's alleged harm to teens. Facebook and Instagram denied wrongdoing, but agreed to new default settings for underage users, some that only parents can toggle off. A 2-hour daily time limit, apps blocked during night mode from midnight to 6 a.m., no push notifications in school mode from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and limits on social comparison features like likes and filters. In a unique twist, Meta will only pay 70% of the settlement unless TikTok and YouTube set similar guardrails and pay about $5.3 billion each. Meta's competitors haven't commented. The settlement leaves Meta exposed to future regulations and further lawsuits. New Mexico and Florida, which didn't sign on because, quote, the payouts are peanuts, have sued separately. Whether you're 12 or 62, social media promises to feed your cravings for affirmation and connection, but often leaves you hollow and adrift. But there is someone whose eyes are always on you, who welcomes you into genuine sanctuary, and who follows through on his promise to anchor your soul. Hebrews chapter 6, verses 18 through 19 says, Therefore, we who have fled to him for refuge can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. This hope is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls. It leads us through the curtain into God's inner sanctuary.
National agencies have had a busy week in the shadows. CIA Director John Ratcliffe made a secretive trip to Moscow Tuesday. The visit was reportedly to warn Russia against attacking NATO allies, though President Trump said it didn't have to do with any Kremlin plans to, quote, test NATO resolve, calling the visit semi-routine. It was a CIA leader's first Moscow mission since 2021's attempt to dissuade Putin from invading Ukraine. Meanwhile, Wednesday, the DOJ and FBI announced they disrupted an 8-year Chinese state-sponsored hacking operation responsible for break-ins and attempted break-ins on the DOJ, NASA, the Federal Reserve, the Senate, and other government agencies. The feds seized the domains between two botnet tools, networks of thousands of hacked routers, to seek out weak spots in, quote, critical infrastructure and other sensitive networks for Beijing's military and spies. Here's a verse to consider whether you've been caught for international espionage, cheating on a test, or sneaking more than your share of French fries. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Psalm 103, verses 12 through 13.
As food runs out in places like Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and the Middle East, there's one population that's quietly suffering in more ways than one. Children. Food scarcity and the growing orphan crisis are tightly linked. Children's homes are one of the places hit hardest in areas like Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where violence and unrest are making food scarcer and communities more fragile. Serving orphans worldwide is there. Combating this crisis by providing hungry children and babies with nutritious meals, emergency groceries, life-saving formula, long-term food security, and the gospel message. A gift of $12 feeds an orphan. Visit servingorphans.org/the pour-over or click the link in the show notes to give the gift of a full belly today.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. The FDA approved a breakthrough treatment for metastatic pancreatic cancer Wednesday. Trial patients on once-daily pill Razin-Q lived nearly 2 times longer, 13.2 months on average, than those treated with chemotherapy. The agency approved Razin-Q, which costs a hefty $39,800 monthly, 6 months ahead of deadline, calling it a, quote, critical new option for people facing one of the deadliest, historically hard-to-treat cancers.
Canada wrote return to sender on the U.S.'s tariff bill. Ottawa announced retaliatory tariffs Tuesday on over 700 U.S. goods, amounting to around $20 billion, following through on its promise to match Washington's levies, quote, dollar for dollar. The new duties, ranging between 15% and 50%, will hit September 8th and focus on sectors most impacted by American tariffs. Think steel, dairy, and electronics.
The Pro Bowl is officially retired. The NFL announced Wednesday it's unsetting the 75-year-old All-Star flag football game, tackled by poor ratings and increasing player opt-outs. Peers, coaches, and fans will still vote for 88 Pro Bowlers annually, with no alternates, and players will be invited to a February celebration in Los Angeles.
ICE agents set arrest records last month. July's roughly 50,000 arrests were the most of President Trump's second term, and the number of people apprehended for civil-only offenses topped around 800 per day for the first time ever. The increases came from a shift away from high-profile citywide crackdowns toward traffic stops and airport arrests.
3 non-law enforcement Secret Service officials had to hand in their sunglasses on Tuesday. The trio, including Chief of Communications Anthony Guglielmi, will be on administrative leave while the agency's Office of Professional Responsibility conducts a misconduct probe. Details are a secret, but the President Protecting Agency has faced scrutiny following multiple assassination attempts on President Trump and investigations into leaks.
That's all the headlines we have for today. Here's some good news for your noodling. God is on the throne, and He's good. Seek His kingdom and trust Him to take care of the rest. As always, thanks for listening, TPO fam. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We're grateful for your support and hope you have a great weekend. Catch you on Monday. The other day in the kitchen, I poured citrus element powder in my water bottle. My wife looked at me and asked when the last time was that I drank water without element. I looked at her and couldn't even remember. No sugar, no crashes, just the science-backed ratio of electrolytes we need to stay sharp. Honestly, it's the real MVP of the pour-over. Stay fresh and hydrated with us. The pour-over listeners get a free 8-pack of Element's most popular drink flavors with any drink mix purchase. Just use the Element link in the show notes.
Every mile matters, whether you're driving your dream car or your daily commuter. The Mobil 1 team knows that. It's why we created Mobil 1 Advanced Clean Motor Oil. It cleans your engine in one oil change and helps extend engine life, delivering performance, protection, and cleanliness for vehicles of all ages. All to help keep your engine running like new, whatever you're driving. Visit mobil1.com/advancedclean to learn more.